Hello guys, how you doing today? I hope I find you well and welcome to a new video. So in this video I am introducing you guys to my detailed build guide for link starting a necromancer summoner that can transition into any minion archetype that you want. Okay, so starting off in Act 1, what you're going to want to do, you kill Hillock and you enter Lioness Watch, talk to Takley, grab Ray Zombies from him, okay, and then use the REGEX that I'm going to be putting in the description below to look for a wand or any piece of gear with 2 blue and 1 red or 3 blue sockets that are linked, 2 blue, 1 red and 3 blue. These two are what we are going to need in this act, in Act 1. So after doing Mercy May quest, and that is killing Hellrake, talk to Nessa, grab a Quicksilver and a Summon Phantasm, and then from the Breaking Some Eggs quest, you grab Summon Raging Spirit from Takley, right? So from this point, you should be comfortable enough to do the ledge up until you reach the Brutus fight. So by the time you fight Brutus, you're going to need the following links, okay? Summon Raging Spirits, linked to minion damage and melee splash. Raise Zombie, linked to Summon Phantasm and minion damage. Decoy Totem, linked, no, not linked, Decoy Totem and Frost Blink. Okay, so the Decoy Totem we need it to taunt the boss in this area, which is Brutus, right? And we are going to be relying on our Summon Raging Spirits for the DPS, and zombies are just going to be mid-shield. They will definitely die in this fight, but that is fine. After killing Brutus, right, go back to town, talk to Nessa, grab Summon Skeletons, right, and just socket it somewhere in your gear. Should be Nessa or Takley. They should be giving you Summon Skeletons as a reward. Socket it somewhere. For leveling, we're not using it yet because it will be weak against Merveil. Then we're going to bind Flame Dash from Nessa at this point. And then after finishing the Marooned Mariner quest, that is Fair Grace quest, enter the Cavern of Wrath, grab waypoint, go back to town, take Flesh Offering from Nessa, and go find Merveil. At this point, you're going to want to have Summon Raging Spirits linked to minion damage and combustion support, right? That 3 link on a triple blue gear piece of gear. And then you're going to want Raise Zombie, minion damage and melee splash on a 2 blue 1 green linked piece of gear. Then you're going to want Vitality and Precision and Flame Dash and Flesh Offering, right? So in Act 1, you're going to get a Trial of Ascendancy in the lower prison, and there is 3 quests that grant you skill points. That is the Dwell of the Deep, the Marooned Marina, the Way Forward. But the Way Forward, you complete it in Act 2. It starts in Act 1, you complete it in Act 2, so you hold off on that. But make sure you get the 2 skill points before you go kill Merveil. That is the Dwell of the Deep and the Marooned Marina, right? So this is how what the tree would look like. I will be putting it on the screen and you can check it out. Now let's jump to Act 2. So from in Act 1, I made it a bit more detailed because at the start I've noticed for many people minions are a bit finicky. They are not stable. For most people, they don't know how to do it, so I just decided to put that a bit more detailed in Act 1. In Act 2, I'm just going to be showing you guys the Atlas tree and the skill gems that you are going to be aiming for by the end of Act 2 will be Summon Skeletons. So in Act 2, this is when we swap from Summon Raging Spirits to Summon Skeletons. You just remove the Summon Raging Spirits gem. From when you get melee physical damage, that's when you do the swap. Okay? You get melee physical damage from it's Yina, right? And when you get it, you remove Summon Raging Spirits, socket Summon Skeletons, and you have Summon Skeletons, minion damage and melee physical damage, that is blue, blue, red. Raise Zombie, minion damage and melee splash, that's blue, blue, red. But if you want a bit more damage, remove melee splash and replace it with melee physical damage. It works well as well. Then for our auras, we're going to want Vitality and Precision with Desecrate as well. And then we're going to want Flame Dash and Flesh Offering. These are the skill gems that we're going to be ending with in Act 2. And I'll be putting a screenshot of the tree where you want to be at by the time you finish Act 2. Okay. And for Trials of Ascendancies in Act 2, you'll find one in the Crypt, level 1. and then you find one in the Chamber of Sins in level 2. The quest skill points in this act, we are going to do the deal with the bandits. We kill all bandits for +2 skill points, and then the way forward, we finish that quest we started in Act 1, we completed in Act 2, and go back to Act 1 to speak to any character and grab a skill point, right? And you might want to start look for these couple of things: rare helmets with a +1 level of all minions. Check hyena for convenient ones or calling ones. Use essences on them to get some decent minion nodes, minion damage nodes, minion attack speed, and all of that. That will help you increase your damage in your acts. Also look for a spirit shield and use essences on them as well. Right, that is Act 2. For Act 3, 1, this is the atlas that we are looking, not atlas, passive tree we are looking at, right? Oh, it's on the screen right there, you can check it out. And as for our skill gems, we are aiming for summon skeletons, minion damage, melee physical damage, and feeding frenzy. This is when it gets very comfortable, because the feeding frenzy makes our summon skeletons dash towards targets, which is really, really good for clearing when you are rushing through the acts. Okay. The second 4 link will be raise zombie, minion damage, melee splash, and melee physical damage. The third links will be vitality, precision, and desecrate. They don't need to be linked. And then we have flame dash and flesh offering. This is by the end of Act 3. This is also when we do our first ascendancy. Okay. After killing Dominus, that's when we do our first ascendancy, because we will be around level 32, 31, somewhere there. And then we go kill Dominus, and then we go do our ascendancy. And before we do our ascendancy, remember our trials of ascendancies are in these locations: the Crematorium, Act 3, the Catacombs, Act 3, and the Imperial Gardens in Act 3. Quest skill points, you are going to want to do Victorious Secrets, that is the find the 3 platinum bursts in the sewers, and then you're going to do Piety's Pets, defeat Piety in the Lunaris Temple in level 2. Those are your skill points that you're going to want in Act 3. And as always, keep looking for +1 level of all minions on your helmet. On helmets, just pick any helmet you find and identify it, and you might find a +1 level of minions. And pick up also any convenient calling ones that you come across, any spirit shield you come across, and you might find some really good minion nodes on them. At this point, you might also want to start crafting some resistances in your hideout on your gear, to have a decent amount of resistances. But our first ascendancy should give us +30 to all elemental resistances, which is awesome. For Act 4, this will be our Atlas passive. Not Atlas passive, come on, I'm used to making build guides, not build guides. This will be our character passive tree. That's where we are going to be. And for our skill gems, we have the first 4 link. We give someone skeletons, minion damage, melee physical damage, and multi-strike. At this point, we find our first big support gem, which is multi-strike. Right, so you'll be blue, blue, red, red. And for our zombies, we have raise zombie, minion damage, multi-strike, and melee physical damage as well. That's another blue, blue, red, red. And then we have vitality, precision, and desecrate. And then we have flame dash, flesh offering, determination, and red banner. Right, and then we have our raised specters. We're just leveling it at this point. But we have our feeding frenzy and maim, both linked to our carrion golem. The maim is a buff that increases physical damage taken by our enemies, and feeding frenzy gives a buff to us and to all of our minions. That's attack speed, cast speed, move speed, and all of that. There are no trials of ascendancies in Act 4, keep that in mind. And then the quest that you're going to want to do for skill points will be an indomitable spirit in Act 4, interact with Desperate Spirit in the mines level 2, and then you get your skill points from one of the NPCs in the town. As always, in every act, look for +1 level minions on your helmet, look for convenient calling ones, use essences on them, and look for your spirit shields and use essences on them as well for decent minion mods. For Act 5, this is got the tree that we're going to be looking at. We just taking some minion life nodes, some life nodes, and getting a bit more tanky. Our skill gems are going to be as follows. We have summon skeletons, minion damage, melee fizz, multi-strike, basically the same as last act, right? And then we have raise zombies, minion damage, multi-strike, and melee physical damage. Vitality, Precision, Desecrate, Flame Dash, Flesh Offering, Determination, and Red Banner. Raise Spectres, you're just leveling this. Animate Guardian, we're just leveling this. Minion Life, and Elemental Army. But at this point, you can actually just find those Carnage Chieftains and raise them as Raise Spectres. They will give your minions a little bit of damage from frenzy charges, which is good, I guess. Or you can pick any other Spectre that you find along the way that you're going, which will be good as well. And then we have our support golems. Support golems linked to Maim and Feeding Frenzy. Oh, by the way, the first ascendance, I forgot to mention this in Act 3. The first ascendance we take is Command of Darkness for those elemental resistances and minion damage and minion attack speed and all that. Then quest in Act 5, you have 2 skill points from In Service to Science, and then from Kita for Stormist. These are quest lines that you need to do in Act 5 for the extra skill points. And also, remember, keep looking for +1 to all minion gems on your helmet, and keep looking for calling and convenient ones. Use essences on them to get some decent minion ones. So once you enter Act 6, right? Once you reach Act 6, our skill gems don't change much. In fact, they don't change at all, right? What you are going to want to do is from Act 6 to Act 10, remember that your Trials of Ascendancies are in Act 6, the Prison, Act 7, the Crypt, Act 7, Chamber of Sins, Level 2. That's where your trials are for your Cruel Lab. You do your Cruel Lab in Act 8, right? And then for Cruel Lab, you take Mindless Aggression, and then you do Merciless Lab in Act 8. There's the Bathhouse, your first trial, and then the Tunnel in Act 9, your second trial, and then the Ossuary in Act 10, the third trial. Then you can do your Merciless Lab Ascendancy. Your Uber Lab, save that for when you're around level 80, 85. That's when you are very strong to do Uber Lab, and you won't waste your thingy that you used to access Uber Lab. I forgot the name of it. I will put it on the video so that you can see it. This is when we transition into our early mapping gear build, right? So what I have here is the 6-link setup, right? That is a level 85 to level 90. So when you just enter into maps, try to get as much resistance as you can on your gear and just keep pushing. First thing to farm is your 6-link body armor, okay, with triple blue and triple red sockets that are linked, right? This is when we put our summon skeletons, minion damage, melee physical damage, multi-strike, ray zombie, and brutality. But keep in mind, we have a new support gem that is not yet out on Path of Building. When I actually check it out, I will do an update video and let you guys know if it is worth swapping one of the skill support gems here for that, because our summon skeletons are duration based minions, right? And also I believe that if we are using that, it may be able to affect our ray zombies because they will be linked. So I don't know if that will work, but we will have to check that out. It will be a bug if that works. Honestly, it will be a bug. But then we have our third sockets. This is in our trigger one. So when you enter maps, just keep doing the June missions that you find and keep unveiling the weapons. You might find the trigger craft that we need, from wands and one-handed daggers and stuff like that. You're going to put a trigger on one wand, and you socket Flesh Offering, Desecrate, and Life Tap in that. That is blue, green, red. This is our number 1 utility skill links. Then our other utility will be Flame Dash, Precision, and Convocation. This will be in our shield, which is blue, blue, green. And then in our gloves, we have our aura setup. That is Pride, Determination, Vitality, and Red Banner. Right? And we have our Ray Spectres in our helmet, and our Animate Guardian, our Minion Life, and the Elemental Army. I will be doing an Animate Guardian build guide very soon, probably in the next 2 days, which will be a bit detailed for League Start, mid-budget, and high budget. And you have another support minion links with the Stone Golem, Current Golem, Maim, and Feeding Frenzy, because we have Golem Commander that will give us a +1 Golem. So we have Stone Golem for the regen, Current Golem for the physical damage buff on our minions. They are linked to Maim and Feeding Frenzy. Right. So now I'm going to put a link to this Google Doc that details all of this, what I've been talking about in this video. It will be in the description, and in it you also find some gear examples. So now I'm just going to show you guys my leveling skill tree from Act 1 to up until we do our double cluster setup. Okay, so as we're going through that, as I was going through the description from Act 1 to Act 10, I was just referencing to this passive skill tree, right? This is Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, and your normal lab right there, right? Act 4, Act 5, Act 10, and then you do your Uber lab when you're around A level 85 to 90, and then you can get to your maps in your first cluster jewel, and then the transition to cutting columns. Yes, so that will be it. So that is it for the skill tree. Then for skills, I have put pre-golem maps, that is before you transition to golems, and then I've put a skill setup for when you transition to your golems, right? And then the items, I have items before golems and after golems. Okay, so you can use that as well. So if we go to golems, you see we are doing 8.4 million TPS, which is amazing, and I'm aiming to be getting to have this by the time I'm just before I finish doing my, well, you should target to have this setup by the time you are in T16 maps, and you can start farm decent content with this build. This build is specifically good for things like blight, essences, beasts as well. You can farm expedition with this build quite well, yes, so if that's what you are into. So you see also in the notes section I've put act by act skill gems, and then I've put up demon RP specters that you want to be using when you're mapping animate guardian gear, the first one, and your ascendancy skill points, what you have to place. So that will be it, I think. Also, before I go, let me show you this, guys. This is the document that I'm putting. Sorry for the flashbang, I apologize for the flashbang. This is the document that I'll be putting in the description. You can check it out. It has a description from Act 2, Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, Act 5, Act 6 to Act 10, early mapping, gear examples, and you have cutting golem transition. I'll be filling this up with some crafting videos that I'm going to be making for each of the gear parts. And then your animate guardian budget, I'll be doing this as well. I'm doing a full video for this and all of that. See Act 10, and each page has got a skill tree like that. Skill tree, and your gems and your ascendancy and your skill points and things to look out for in each act. So that should do it, guys. If you have watched the video up to this point, I'm more than grateful and thankful for the support, guys. Every single view means a lot to me. Every single comment, every single like and subscription means a lot to me. Also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do. It really helps out the channel, and I'm really aiming to reach 1,000 subs before the year ends. So once again, thank you for the support, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers.